essentially, which is like quality of life kind of features that we know some of you have been asking about. So I will just start that here. Let me know if the screen share is working.
Yeah, looks good.
All right. So yeah, I guess first things first, you guys see a couple new things on our HUD here. So at the top, you will have a little thing that shows the in-game time. You will be able to see what server you're on, be able to see your currencies, and we reworked the HP and mana bars a little bit to kind of accommodate the like class system and everything that we're coming up with as well. So you can see I have a mana bar, the blue one there, and right above that you have your normal stamina bar as well. And that's kind of just to accommodate our own future systems and everything as well. And yeah, our little class icon up there needs a little work still, but it's getting there. It's getting there. But yeah, the first thing I want to show is the new Essential system. So Essentials is basically like all the quality of life kind of features that we have in general. And I'll just kind of like go over the gist of what it is. So it's a new home system where you guys have a home system here, a little inspired by the teleport system that we already made for you guys as well. You can see here, I can click here instead of home. You can give it a little note, test home, and you have it here. You can move the home spawn, do all the stuff that you expect. And if you have a whole list of them, you can favorite them and then sort by different things up here as well. This is also cross server, so you can basically use it on literally whatever server you want. And like if I was here and I had a home on Everroot, I could just click it and be sent over there straight to that home. And you can see here like all the charge up, what's it called? Particles now has a little charge up kind of thing here. That is how that works. Next to that, another thing that we know you guys have been asking about a lot of times as well is a better RTP kind of system as well. So we have decided to probably make this a little bit more convenient than what it potentially should be. You will have a free one up here, which is literally a RTP in the entire world border zone. So in our case, like 10,000 by 10,000, basically in all directions. Then next to that, you'll be able to target all the different Hytale zones here. So you can see here, if I want to go to like devastated lands, so like zone 4, I can literally click that button and it should find me a like zone 4 biome basically. And yeah, looks like we succeeded with that. So that's just another kind of convenience kind of thing that you guys will have access to. They will cost in-game money if you want to target like specific zones. But yeah, that is still stuff that we are modifying and kind of seeing how that should work. Don't know what the cooldown is. Yeah, okay, too long. Rune coins are our premium feature, or like premium coins for like future stuff, basically. So yeah, that's the RTP thing. Next thing that we've been doing is a better help menu. It's very empty right now, but that is basically because it is basically something that's automatically synced to our like Wikipedia page on our website. So it will basically fetch all the information for that. Or from that. So whenever we actually make like wiki entries on the website, it will automatically populate the whole menu here and basically give you guys like literally anything you might need for like helps and guides and all that kind of stuff in game. Obviously we have to write the wiki pages, but it's severely easier to do that on a website than do it here like in the game itself. So that's also something that's coming. Another little thing here, if I bring out my little alt here, you can basically see, oh, he's a little bit tiny as well, but we'll get into that in a little bit, okay? Basically, I can press F on it, and you get a little menu here, and you can do different things. So for starters, I'll do the party invite on the other screen, but actually, okay. So inspect, you can inspect, see the gear, little information about their races and stuff, their name, a little like character profile and all that kind of stuff. You can write up like a D&D style character sheet for yourself if you like to do that. I will show you guys how all that works in a bit as well. But other than that, if I go on my alt and I press F here, I can send a trade request to my actual character here and I can accept that. And yeah, you can see here, I can trade that over. I can accept that. And now I got a weapon there. So yeah, that's a in-game trade system and everything as well. And yeah, you guys noticed the races, so I will go over that in a little bit as well. You can see here if I send a party request from my alt, that will pop up on the screen as well, and I can accept that. And you see up here on the screen, we have our little party system. I will get into more detail about that one in a little bit as well. Yeah, so you guys saw the little raid thing here. So let me give you a demonstration of that. This is the new like main profile. There's two versions of that. I will let Cirque show the second one a little bit later because we're still deciding on which one we want to actually use in general. Basically, what this is supposed to be is your like main character profile kind of thing that shows you all the information that you basically need for your personal progression and everything. You can see down here, it has a codex, which basically tracks all your achievements and codex-like things, tracks how many mounts you have, it tracks all your pets, it tracks all your professions and your levels and all that kind of stuff in it. It shows you all your stats from like both leveling up, leveling professions, using custom gear, and the whole thing basically. And you get attribute points for like just leveling up, both from your class level, but also your profession levels. And if I quickly flick through the pages here, I will just give you guys a quick idea of how things look. But I won't go too much into details about all the pages because classes, as an example, Gianna or like Cirque will be talking about that one. But professions here as an example, you guys can see here an overview of all of that basically. And I will be going into a little bit more detail about this one in a bit. But yeah, to talk about the races though, if I click here, you can see we have a little preview here, and currently I am a human. So let's change that. And let's say I want to be a, what do I want to be? I want to be a Farron, okay? So you can basically do that. You can modify the ears and you can change colors and all that kind of stuff on it as well. And we'll be adding in more presets here, but I can confirm that here now and I can log in the race. And as you guys saw, the goblin alt that I have is, what's it called? A little bit tiny, and that's because you can choose the height here. We're probably gonna lock the height so that we basically choose that. You can see here now I'm the same size as my alt here, but if I were to go back in again, I can put it back to the normal height instead. And that is basically how that works. And as you guys saw, actually you didn't even see that. If I go in here and I go to the lore page, you can fill out a lore page about yourself, which is the other thing that you can all kind of inspect on each other. So you can write like a little backstory for yourself, random information about yourself as well. And everyone else will basically be able to like inspect that. Yes, so do you want me to do a party and dungeon right away, or do you want to talk a little bit about something before I do that?
We can have a little look at something visual. So let me just see. How come I can't share my screen? Is that because you're sharing?
Maybe. Let me stop it.
Ah, there we go. Okay. There. Is it sharing?
Yes.
Okay. So, you can now, with a new system that we've made, change the look of your armor. Oh,
change your screen resolution to 1080p instead.
Okay. Hold on. Oh, in the game itself, or?
Yeah, because
it's crazy weird.
Yeah, and you probably have to restart your screen share as well.
Okay, 1 second. Okay. Is that better?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. So, transmog system. Basically, we've created a system where you can change the look of all of your armor. So you can see right now, I have a certain look to me. Even the staff that I'm holding is not having the same skin that I have in my hand. Yeah. So all my armor here is cobalt, but you can see I have some another skin on it essentially. So the way that this works is you go to a transmog mirror. You can set up different sets. So I can create whatever set I want here, some rusty guy. Then I can save it as rusty guy. And I can always just swap between my different sets here as I please. And if I then go out again, you can see that it has transmogged my items. So out and the whole crafting system, it will matter what type of armor you're wearing as well. So this here is what we would call plate, which is worn by the likes of warriors, for instance. So basically, you might be wearing a cloth set if you are a mage. So the way that this works in here is you can go between the different armor types and choose sets specifically for that armor type, right? So if you're wanting to play mage, you'll automatically, like whatever pieces are put on that have you can see here, I've set a cinder headpiece for my cloth. It has been selected. So if I put on a cloth piece, that specific piece will get transmogged. So even if you mix and match the different armor types, it will still just take whatever you've transmogged for that particular armor type. Yeah. The way that you unlock all of these transmogs is through the transmog orb. So this will look at what you have in your inventory. Then you'll be able to select it and unlock it. When you unlock it, it will first of all cost some silver based on the rarity of the item. Holy crack. Based on the rarity of the item. And it will also destroy the item when you unlock it. And then it will, of course, appear in here, and you'll be able to select it. You can always preview things that you have not yet unlocked. But yeah, you can obviously only select them for your outfits and stuff if you do have them unlocked. This, of course, also goes for every weapon. So we've pretty much crammed in every weapon in the game. We understand that some of them are not obtainable at the moment in the game. And things like longswords are not even being used in the game yet. We do have plans for those, though. You might also notice there's a little extra something down here. I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, basically, whatever you set as your transmog in here will be what you wear when you equip that particular weapon. Another thing with this whole transmog system is you can sheath your weapon on your back. So if I double tap my control, it goes on my back instead. Just a little more of a, normal RPG type of shit. So if you're a rogue and you have 2 daggers, they'll look pretty badass on your back here. Same goes if you have some sort of bow. And when you have a bow equipped as well, the transmog system adds a little quiver as well, since it already existed in the game. We were like, why the heck not? So yeah, there's that. Since you've already seen some of these transmogs, I'm just gonna show you. These are gonna be some of our new cash shop cosmetic items. So you'll be able to purchase these, and they'll unlock in the transmog mirror, and then you can transmog the particular weapon that they are skinned for. So for these ones, it would be 2-handed axes. Then you have a bow. You have some daggers here, and there's another set of daggers that I'm having on here. Then there's the 1-handed blood sword here. 2-handed sword. The void sword. I think you can see that here. and all of them have like trails and emissive shit and all that stuff, all the good stuff. Here you can see the daggers, and then a big old bonker for your two-handed mace. I guess another thing about this is, wait, where is the shield? So you can of course also, oh, I already had one. You can also transmog your shield. So you can see I've chosen a different transmog than this adamantite one. And if you sheath that, the sword just goes in behind it neatly. And yeah, still keeps the particles and stuff on them. You might also notice these little stands here. These are armor stands. So let me just type this in. These are going to be something that will be available to players either through the carpentry skill or other means. We're not quite sure yet. But basically, you can put whatever you want on these armor stands, and you can also pose them in all kinds of different ways. So you can make your armor showcase hall look crazy. You can also rotate them a little bit if you want them to be facing in a particular direction. They have like a 45-degree angle increment. So, yeah. I'm trying to think if I have forgotten anything here. I don't think so when it comes to transmog. So this is pretty much it. This transmog mirror, by the way, will be available in every city. We're currently trying to figure out whether this is something we also want to put into players' hands so they can place it down in their base. Again, could maybe be a cash shop kind of item. Not entirely sure yet, but we'll start looking into more cash shop options moving forward. Yeah, this is one of those. It's kind of cosmetic utility. Everyone will always be able to access one in probably each of the different spawns. So both in the hub and in each of the main server spawns. And then, yeah. I think that's... Oh, I guess also in here, in the settings, you can toggle on auto sheath and set a time, how long it should take before it just auto sheaths your things. So as long as you haven't hit anything for a while, it will just sheath it on your back. And then as soon as you hit, it will unsheath it. And you can, of course, still do double tap control, and that will sheath it. And yeah, you can also turn off the shield and the double tap sheathing, etc. You get the idea. I think that's pretty much it for transmarks for now, Rene. So I think you can take over.
I will say as well, like in terms of transmarks, obviously that also means that we are getting some new armor sets and all that kind of stuff as well. The first two armor sets that we're introducing is actually not transmarks. They are going to be from crafting instead, but I want to show them as well because obviously if you craft these and you put them into the transmark orb, you can also use them for transmarking it onto other stuff. So two of the first new armor sets that we're going to be introducing is basically our new leather set and then a new cloth set, which is going to be equal to like mithril tier basically when we release the custom crafting. And I just posted 2 screenshots here in the chat where you guys can see those. But yeah, on that note, let me...
I guess also just to add to that, those sets are based on already existing items in the game. So Storm Leather and Shadow Weave, I believe it's called.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll also be looking into ways to let you guys actually obtain Mithril, Shadow Weave, and Storm Leather. And yeah.
All right. I am screen sharing again, so if you guys tune into my stream, then I will continue again. Yeah, next thing I'm going to talk about is just quickly the party system and then the dungeon system and all that kind of stuff as well. We went over that last town hall as well. It's gotten some updates and there's a new dungeon mode as well that we would like to share with you guys. But just before we do all that, let me quickly show you guys the systems here. So obviously you have your party menu here where you can see your whole party. You'll be able to add 8 people in total to a party because it'll be content that basically is anywhere from like 1 to 8 people. So that will be the cap. Oh, is my screen share frozen or what?
No, it looks
okay.
fine. Yeah.
But yeah, and you will have different, what's it called, like loot rules as well that you can do later on, depending on your group combination, all that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna start up the party here because you guys have already seen that, but basically, right, you can write a name, invite someone, or you can quick invite from down here from nearby players and stuff like that. Next to that, we have our LFG, which is basically you can make a, what's it called, like quick dungeon kind of thing if you want to create a dungeon and like look for people, right? So you could say if I wanted to do Hollow Crypt, I can set up here and you can basically see oh, now I went to the dungeon queue instead. But yeah, you could basically create a group and get people in or like search for members for it. So you can see if I post listing here, now I'm basically recruiting and people can like basically use the /LFG to go in and apply to the dungeon as well. You can see Cirque just sent an application here as a tank, so I can approve that. And he gets an invite, and then yeah, you can see now he's up here. And you could basically recruit a full group of randoms that way and basically yeah, get into it that way. But yeah, for the sake of this test, I'm just gonna kick him again. Because we don't play with no scrubs here, okay? What the hell?
Like that.
But yeah, let's talk about the new dungeon mode, okay? This is a little meme. I called it Lair of the Integer because, yeah, you guys, okay? Basically, though, this is a new type of dungeons where it's a roguelite, basically. And I think the best way to show all of that is basically just like, let's hop into it, and then you guys will kind of see. And yes, there's a solo mode for this. We haven't quite decided on the rewards yet, but it's probably going to be a combination of what's it called? Like crafting ingredients and what's it called? Like money and all that kind of stuff for completing waves. I'm just going to hop into creative right now and take my gun here just for showcase purposes real quick. Because this
gives
is
them
basically...
a little showcase as well of the actual arena. It looks crazy.
Yeah, I'll do that after.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can basically see it is basically a full-on wave-based arena. As you can see over there in the right corner, we are tracking like waves and kills and all that kind of stuff. And there will be XP that you get by just running through these like glowing little bits here. Then I should get a level here, and you can see now I get frostbite, so when I actually hit stuff, they will get frozen and slowed down. So that is the roguelite mechanic, right? Every time you level up, you get the ability to pick a, what's it called? Like a different like boon. And every 5th wave, you get a boss. And it's the same boss that will basically come back now and then. And you just keep challenging him every 5 rounds, and he gets, what's it called? Like stronger and stronger. And then he gets new abilities as well as you kind of go through it all. So I'll just do like a few rounds here and then leave it again, because this is like the gameplay loop. And then the idea is that you basically, yeah, gotta go as far as you can. And there will be leaderboards on this that we probably, I don't know, either like weekly or monthly, where we will reset it and it'll be tracked on our website. Yes, Doro, like this is just temporary. It'll probably just be a static like XP kind of trail that lays on the ground instead. This is meant to be here longer. It's just the particle like lifetime on the spawner is like too low right now.
Yeah, obviously the further in you get, the more mobs spawn, and like Rene said, you can also see the health of the boss has scaled. Like everything just scales up like crazy. So
And
the
he gets
idea
new
is
skills as well.
yeah. The idea is that this will scale so much that it will be virtually impossible to ever get to the end of it. And if someone ever gets to the end of it, we add 50 more levels and laugh at you. That's pretty much it.
I'm just gonna do like a couple more rounds here, then yeah, we're done with that one. Yeah, you guys get the idea. I will show the arena off here in like a short moment though. The idea is that we will be doing a lot of these like little kind of different dungeon types. And they're all going to be different kind of themes, as if you're like going to fragments of different worlds, kind of like playing a little bit into the Hytale lore and all that kind of stuff there. So this one is obviously like a chaotic kind of skeleton realm. And you can see here you have like a big void kind of hole up there. And yeah, you can see the whole environment if I move out here a little bit. So we are going pretty crazy on like world design and just environment details and everything, and really like making stuff look super atmospheric.
Yeah, huge props to Dragon for this
Yeah.
environmental
Yeah, he cooked.
particles and stuff. It looks insane.
Yeah, I will hop server dungeon system and everything as well. So this should no more like be causing any strain on like the SMP servers and all that kind of stuff. So in terms of that, yeah, that system is pretty solid, and you guys should be able to like actually play with that and everything. Another system I quickly want to go over and show is basically how fragments will work from now on. Basically, you can enchant, or whatever you want to call it, like you can roll affixes on your fragments to basically make them harder and everything. So you can see here, I have a mythic tier hollow crypt here, where monsters basically get more health, they have increased pack size, and you have like erupting meteors every 8 seconds in the arena, and monsters like they heal for some of the damage they do, and the boss will basically enrage and do more damage as well. So if I do dungeon now and I were to click on hollow crypts here, you can see I have my fragments down here. I click on this one and you can see you have modifiers over here. Then you have an end game grind version here as well, which is torment. Okay, and you can see the higher I scale that, I can't go higher than 2 because you need to basically like clear more of them to get higher tiers. But if I take this one here, you're basically going to get more rewards and everything in there. So if I quickly do this as a test, I will demonstrate how that works as well.
Even the rats are tanky now.
Yeah.
Or is it scaling? Maybe it's not.
Yeah, no, it is scaling.
Ah, okay.
Another thing here, all the loot in here now is basically personal. So if I open this chest here, it rolls for this, and all the people can basically do that.
It's hard to tell when he's using this machine gun. If it's skilled or not. Oh, there you go. You just saw one of the random FXs as well. This meteor that drops down and you need to dodge it. It's like different FXs like that. Think WoW Mythic Plus or PoE styled
Mapping, basically.
Yeah, mapping. Yeah.
Combination of the two, basically. We gotta fix the timer over there, since they're like overlapping. Gotta kill a couple mobs more. Like the text is kind of blocking it, but obviously you have the what's it called? The mob kills over there that you need to do. And that is basically a criteria for finishing the whole dungeon and getting the rewards at the end as well. Yeah, now we have the kill criteria, so if we just kill the boss as well, then you can see it spawns a big chest on him. And basically, if we go up into that, it's gonna give us a bunch of cards that we can basically roll and get some loot out of that. And that's basically how that works. And then here at the end, you basically get this screen here. If there was loot that could be rolled in the dungeon, you would have 2 minutes to do that. And you basically roll here instead. But yeah, since there's no loot to be distributed and everyone got their rewards, it basically sends you out after 10 seconds instead. And yeah, so the torment system that you guys saw, you can see here, I cleared a torment 2 and I did it like in the time. So now I need to do like 2 out of 5 more, or like 5 out of 5 more before I can unlock the next torment tier basically. And that is basically how that works. And it is applied to all the, what's it called? Like all the normal, what's it called? Like the normal dungeon types basically. Yeah, another thing I forgot to mention, by the way, when we talked about the quality of life stuff, is obviously you guys see a whole lot of mobs around us here. That is because we have made personal mob spawning instead. So we're not using the Hytale limitations anymore of like there being a maximum amount of mobs in a world and them being locked to, what's it called? Like chunks and all that kind of stuff. So now it's basically per player instead. So I believe, is it... you can see here, near me, there's 85, and that's because I have 2 players here, and the cap for like per player is basically 40. That means that if I were to leave this area here, they will all be culled basically, meaning that they die unless they're tamed. And what this basically means in simple kind of like terms is basically that you'll basically see mobs everywhere on the server now, because they are like personal spawns instead. They're not depending on the world anymore. Like if you're out somewhere in the wilderness, you have personal mobs spawning around you. And no, farms will not be what's it called, impacted by that, because you have to like as long as all your animals are tamed, then they get a tame tag and they will not despawn basically. Yeah, that is everything about the dungeons and stuff there. So do you want me to continue, or do you want to show anything first?
I think it might make sense for you to show some more stuff, and I'll do mine at the end.
All right. I have pets, mounts, skills, and crafting left. So I think I will just let's do the pets actually. So new pets menu instead here. It's still the old system, but just heavily refined instead. Lots of things have been changed as well. So you can see here, there's a new like complete UI instead for everything, to kind of make everything a lot simpler to kind of like look at and understand. Yeah, what you have and what you don't have and all that kind of stuff. There's also like easy indicator on rarity and all that kind of stuff, and you can see here I can go in and inspect and basically see what it does. There's one big change here, which is the fact that we have gotten rid of all the healing runes that you guys bought before, because yeah, it just caused more issues than anything else. So your pets will basically just regenerate out of combat like all the time now. So if a pet dies, it will just take 2 minutes for it to like regenerate back up to full health instead. And that is basically how it's gonna work moving forward. Yeah, you have your mount tab in here as well, and then you have battle stats here as well, where you can see like the leaderboard and everything. If I quickly were to do a little test kind of thing here, and let me do that on my alt as well. Basically see here, If you want to battle someone now, you can go up to them and you can just press F and then challenge them to a pet battle. They will get a notification on their other screen and they can accept that. And now we're in a pet battle. And you can see here, oh, they're not attacking each other. Interesting.
That's sick.
Yeah, sick. Okay. I love this.
Damn.
Well, basically, right. So, granted that this works, we'll fix that later. But granted that this works, why is it doing that? Okay, yeah. So, for these abilities down here, they will basically refresh, and you can press like Alt to open it up again. And if you want to move around, you just press Escape to go out of it, and you can press Alt to open it again. And that is basically how that works now. Okay, I wonder if
forever
I...
stuck in the pet battle.
Yeah, I'm a little bit uncertain what happens if I just fucking leave now. Just gonna wait here for my skill to... But I have a crazy idea, okay? What if I just win? Nope. Okay, well...
No.
we're stuck here forever, okay?
Yeah, that was...
Let me try
that was
relog
not
on that.
it.
Okay. Easy, okay, easy. Yeah, next to that, let me quickly show the mount system here. You guys already have some mounts. There's been some changes to that though. To summon, I will show that in a moment here. So you can click here, and now there's a new camera view here. So you basically zoomed out more, and you just have like a better overview of like you mounting around, all that kind of stuff. Then next to that, we have been experimenting a little bit with flying mounts, and to demonstrate that, I'm quickly gonna show you guys here as well. If you press tap twice now, so like twice in 1.5 seconds, you will basically spawn your favorite mount. So if I do that here now,
Alt.
yeah, Alt, yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Alt, yeah. See, I basically
so
spawned
no
it here.
more alt tabbing and mounting up.
Yeah.
Now it's like double time alt, and then you mount up.
And yeah, we're still working on this, and this might very well change in the future, but this is what we have so far. Basically, if I press space, I soar up into the sky, and then it's basically motion kind of based flying. And you can see on the right side, we have like a vigor kind of meter. Whenever that reaches 0, you have to land to basically get stamina for your mount. See here now, it should start like going down because it's tired. Yeah, so now I basically can't go up anymore. Yeah, this is basically an idea for like a system, so it doesn't make the flying mounts like the most absolute OP kind of mounts that you just have in general.
Yeah, we'll still figure out exactly how a mount like
how
this
we
could
want that.
be implemented. Obviously, there's there are some caveats to introducing flying, so we're very well aware of that, and we'll see what the solution will be. But
Do you want me to carry on with crafting, or do you want to do
I can
classes
take
first?
over a bit.
I don't mind, like if you just want me to go through the list, because that's
Honestly, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Next thing I want to show, just a little snippet of for now, is basically crafting. So if I go in here first and we go to professions, you can see like the full list here that you can level up. If I go to blacksmithing here, which is the one I want to show today and just go over a little bit, so you guys get an idea for how it works. You can see up here you have the different material tiers, kind of. This is still being refined because there's some information we still need to show on here. As an example, right, like to get thorium, I need like 20 thorium bars. That needs to be showcased a little bit easier than just here being in text, basically. But yeah, basically, if I had the, like, let me do that actually. So if I take some thorium bars here, this one here, and we go in here again, I should be able to.
I think you need to unlock iron first. Maybe? Is that iron now, right?
Yeah. there we go. Yeah. But yeah, like little visual things we need to fix there. But yeah, now I basically unlock that, and that means I can craft thorium armor. That means that all the different armor now is basically locked by mastery. So you have to go through these, and we made it so that you unlock adamantite when you hit level 30, and grinding up to level 30 should honestly be super easy. So not something like it's not going to take you guys a long time to do that. The real grind will basically start after 30 and scale up from like 30 to 50, and then at 50 to 60-ish, it's going to be like even harder. So like doing the grind from 60 to 99 as an example is going to be that old school RuneScape kind of feel where it's really tedious to basically do as an example. Yeah, every time you level up, you get mastery points, and you can see here, if I were to add in here, you can see that if you basically like unlock the whole row, you get what we call a keystone over here, which is basically it unlocks specific stats that you can now roll on your gear. So in this case, I leveled this one here, which gives me crit chance, and I also leveled this one down here, which gives me lifesteal. So that means whenever I'm making like swords and stuff now, I have a chance to roll crit chance and lifesteal on them. You could also do the same with armor down here. So you can see if I want thorns, we level up this one here. I don't have enough points for that, but you get the idea. You can also see down here, there is something for extra quality and stuff that I level up as well, which basically means that you have just a bigger chance of like hitting other rarities, which I will show you guys here in a second as well. And yeah, there's also for smelting and processing materials in general here, because that has a timer now, and leveling that up just makes that go faster. Let me quickly move this stuff here. To give you guys an idea though, let me take some normal copper here. If I go over here, this is our new smelter UI basically. And this is generally for all vanilla materials, but also custom materials. So here with smelting, you can see if I wanted to make forged copper, which is for like things later on, I need 2 copper ingots. So let me just make 2 of those real quick here. So you can see it's basically going through that now, and you can close that down. You can even log out and everything and come back to it later and just pick it up whenever it's done. And you can also do that in the normal forge over here, but the limits that you can do in this is just not as, what's it called? Not as big, and it's also a little bit slower than the normal smelter over here. So as an example, you can smelt 100 things at a time in this one, but only 10 at a time in this one over here. Now this is done. We take them here, and they got added to my inventory, and now we can craft one of these instead. So I'm just quickly gonna do that as well. This is just to give you guys an idea of like how the processing works, and you can see here I'm getting blacksmithing XP whenever I basically do this and level it up. Let me take some materials here. Let's just say I've done a bunch of different stuff. And now we can basically craft some, I think, oh, I need to take this here. We can craft some cobalt gear. Wait, no, I need to go on the armor tab here. Yeah, so you have tabs up here, right? And that's for the different categories of stuff that you can do. You have tools, you have weapons, you have armor, and you have the smelting, obviously. Let's say we want to look at armor here. So you can see I have a thorium helmet here, and that requires forged thorium component, which is like the custom thorium ingot that you just saw. You have some medium work leather as well, which is also like custom leather. And then you have metal rivets, which is basically something that you will need to buy from a vendor. And you can see here, these are the stats over here, and there's some that's still locked. But you can see the ones in gold text are the ones that I unlocked through the mastery tree. And all of these over here are the different stats that you have a chance to basically get. And the higher your rarity of a craft is, the more of these stats you get on the item. So if I were to click Forge here, you can see it's going to craft it now. And then we have a little collection here. And you can see we got a uncommon. So that has mana regen, physical defense, and +1 to food slots. So that means that these things down here are basically food buffs. They are like Valheim Inspire kind of. So you basically take on a food buff, and it's on anywhere from 5 minutes to 45 minutes, basically based on the rarity of the food. I will show you guys some of the food here a little bit later. And no, you cannot pick the stats yourself, because that is the whole point of this, that there needs to be RNG involved in these kind of things. You can see if we craft another one here, we should hopefully maybe we get something different. We got a rare one this time with 2% crit chance, health regen, and strength. So if you're like a warrior, this is probably like some of the best stuff that you can basically get. And you can see here, if I this will say that it requires plate armor proficiency right now, which basically means that I would need to be a warrior to use this, right? But obviously we don't have warrior classes right now, so if I do anything with this, it doesn't do anything because I can't use thorium armor because I'm a mage basically. So right now I would only be able to use cloth gear. But that's how that works.
I was just gonna say you can still wear it, but you just won't get the stats from it.
Yeah.
And also just on the rolls of these different stats, the normal items here will have a big pool of stats that they can roll. It will basically be the main sort of thing that you would fish for the perfect item for, would be these main crafts. But we fully intend to also add custom recipes for custom weapons, or even some of the weapons and armors that are not currently utilized in the game, to give you other pieces that might be more targeted to something more specific to what you're looking for. So yeah, like it's a bit hard to put into words, but we have thought about a way of targeting a little bit, but there will always be an element of RNG, like even if you do something slightly more targeted.
Yeah. So as an example, like the targeted kind of crafting that Jana is talking about here is the fact that if I were to go into mastery here, you can see like you obviously pick the stuff that you want to target, right? Like if you don't want lifesteal on stuff, then obviously don't take the lifesteal keynote over here. If you only want crit chance and crit damage, then you take those two keynotes instead, because that basically means that you lower your pool of like stats that you can basically have a chance to roll on your item, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is 100% how you would do that. Anyway, for food buffs here, let me, what is that? So raw beef, onions, and spice. So let me quickly take that as an example here. We still have to adjust the kind of buffs and stuff and like how good they are and everything. And we also have to like do our custom, what's it called? Like ingredients and icons and all that kind of stuff for this. We can basically see if I'm crafting this right now. And I collect it. I got food here that gives me 2 strength. And if I take that here and I go into adventure, then I can eat that. Boom. And you can see down here in the corner, I have a food buff for 5 minutes now where I have +2 strength. So if I were to go into my profile, you should be able to see that I have 3 strength up here, and that's because of the food buff. And I probably had 1 strength before as well, right? You can see, oh yeah, I can put on the helmet here. Yeah, that is how the food basically works. And as you can see here, if you were to become like a master chef kind of thing, you can see that the food that you craft here has strength, vitality, attack speed, and class XP. That is the best food that you can craft here. And this is food for like melee users. You also have food for ranged users instead. So you get agility, attack speed, movement speed, and class XP. And you have 3 food slots in general, but you can't stack them. In the sense that you can't put on 3 melee food, you can put on 1 from each category. So you will take 1 DPS, 1 defensive, and then maybe like a what's it called, like a adventurer or like a gatherer kind of food instead. So you can see if we were to like look here at adventurer food, that is movement speed, class XP, and loot lock as well. And if we were to look at gathering here, you have all fortune, which is basically like it's a custom system that you guys will see a little bit later, like not today, but in the future, basically, where you have increased chances to find certain things and get rare rewards from like doing different things. And yeah, you can also get gathering XP. And it's the same for crafter food here as well. You can get crafting XP and crafting skill and inspiration. Inspiration and crafting skill is basically just stuff that increases the rarity chance that you have for like crafting like epic gear, if that makes sense. Speaking of gear, though, let me see if I remember. Yeah, here. That. Wait. Yeah, I'm just giving you guys some examples of some end game stuff you can do. If I remember all the commands. I think it's unique. Yeah. So there's a couple different things you can do here. Later on, when you're fully specialized in something, you can basically end up crafting what you call set pieces. So you can see here on a warlord set, if you have 2 pieces, you get plus 2% crit chance, and 4 pieces gives you 4% crit damage and strength and all that kind of stuff. There's different rarities of all this, and you can level them up so that they become better and better, basically. So that's another kind of thing that you guys can do, and that's all tied to crafting as well. Then next to that, you can basically become something you call a master worker at like level 99, where you can end up making like mythic tier eunuchs, which are like named eunuchs that has a lot of stats and all that kind of stuff, and will have like special effects basically. And that's what these kind of things are. This is like the super unique kind of chase items. And that is like basically the what was it called? Like the really like end game kind of stuff that you'll be doing there in terms of crafting. Yeah, I think that mostly explains that.
Yep.
There's something else I quickly want to show here. I'm gonna post 2 images in the town hall chat. We're gonna have armor as well. That's basically intended for both gatherers and crafters. And this is basically armor that increases your like chances of like doing like different things, like a more gathering speed, more yield, a higher chance to proc like some like rarity tiers, all that kind of stuff as an example. A little bit of like Final Fantasy 14 inspiration for that one. But it should give you guys some ideas for what we have in mind there. Yeah.
I guess just to add to this as well. Renee has shown the blacksmithing. One thing that we want to emphasize here is we've already implemented a lot of the leather and cloth that already existed in the game. Like it was basically all there, but not hooked up. That has all been put into a leatherworking and tailoring bench, and it will essentially follow the same idea as the blacksmithing table. And yeah, we will be using all the sets that you see in game, and obviously those will be usable for particular classes, like we went over a little earlier. So if you are a rogue, you will definitely want to be wearing leather gear. And if you're a mage, definitely cloth gear, or you will not be benefiting from the stats, and they will be huge for you to have.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like cloth gear will basically roll intellect, which is what scales your damage as a mage, and leather gear will scale agility, which is for like rogues and all that kind of stuff in general, right? So that's why that is. Speaking of custom stuff here, I wanted to actually quickly show you guys hunting as well, because we're introducing a lot of different weapon types as well. Leveling hunting is one of the things that will actually give you access to blunderbusses, as that you can see I have right here, which is just our way of introducing the medieval fantasy guns to the game as well. So you'll be able to craft different tiers of those and ammo for them as well. And you can see you can load it here, and then you can shoot this annoying cow, okay? And you can see I'm getting like ranged XP down there, but also hunting XP. And yeah, this can straight up become a combat weapon as well, right? Because no one is saying you just have to use it for hunting cows. You can also like... Oh, I actually hit that. I didn't expect that. Holy shit. You can use it for literally anything, okay? And obviously you guys see a lot of like stats moving up here. These are just like your XP for like all the different things basically. So if I were to go in here again, you can see it's being like leveled up here. So we just got some like hunting XP, which is up here, and we got some agility down here as well. And these are just like passive kind of things that you level up. And as I said earlier, you can see up here, you can see my spell power up here on the intellect, which is basically what scales like my mage damage. If I were to add int, you can see that number is basically going up. And that just increases my mage damage if I were to put on that. Is that a chicken? Okay. Well, I think that is all for the crafting side of things.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Yes,
don't want to go
I'll-
into like every single bench because there's quite a few of them. But I guess something that is relevant to quickly show is basically how you would get these new benches. And that is basically through just a normal workbench here. You see we have this tab over here, and you can craft them through that. There's one thing to note here, though, which you guys will basically see now, which is the fact that we are removing all the vanilla benches from Hytale. So you guys are like basically being forced to use the new system instead. And that is 100% intentional because we want you guys to basically use the system that we are making so that we also can fully like tune it to how we see that it should fit and all that kind of stuff. The normal benches will still be in the game, so if they're in your base, you can use them as decorations basically, but they all the functionality from them will be completely removed. So you will have to make these new ones instead, which like if I take harvesting here as an example, I'm just quickly gonna like show you guys this as well, that they basically have all the vanilla stuff implemented in them, and we will also add upgrade systems and all that kind of stuff to them in the future as well. You can basically see here, if you go into this, we can craft all the different blocks and so on. I can minimize this category, and you can see we have all the different. Okay, why is soil
It's
in
further
here?
down.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's already
Yeah.
noted. Yeah.
So you can see you have a lot of different stuff in here. We just need to add some more categories to these kind of things. And you have like your essence here, and you have some utility stuff here as well. And I guess another one that you guys would also be excited about would be the furniture bench, I guess.
Carpentry.
Carpentry.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess it opens it up. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So you can see here we have some. There's both a processing station in here, which is the sawmill, and then there's a carpentry as well. And you have like these are different weapon handles that you basically craft for the weapons that you want to craft. Then you have for bows as well, and then you have carpentry wood, which is basically what you would be using to craft all the custom furniture that you guys could basically dream of. I'll just quickly scroll through the list so you guys get an idea. And we still need to actually do the materials and all that kind of stuff for this, but yeah, it gives you guys an idea. And we've added everything that exists in vanilla in here that we believe that you guys should have access to. And there might also be a bunch of like custom things in here in the future as well. But yeah, there's a lot basically.
Yep.
But yeah, on that note, yeah, now I don't think there's more to show about crafting right now. So I guess I will hand it over to you, Jenna.
Yep. All right. Do this again. Okay. So, wait, am I sharing?
Yeah.
Okay. So I saw some of you ask in the chat, like, okay, there's quite a few things now to spend money on. You need some money for crafting. You need some money for transmog. You need the you need the money for a lot of things moving forward. But there will also be ways to make money. So this is still super early. It basically just has most of the functionality. So this UI will change entirely, but it gives you the idea. So basically, you'll be able to complete what we would likely call achievements, which is just collecting a bunch of stuff, and it has like a fuckload of levels as well. So you can keep, if you just love fishing, you can fish all day, and you can probably advance through that. It will give you some skill XP, and it will give you some silver. So this is meant to be more of a passive thing that just kind of happens, right, as you play the game normally. And then there's the more active part, which is milestones. So, milestones is more of like a quest where you need to do a bunch of different activities. Some of them are more targeted. So let's say a gather milestone. There's like a couple of different gathering type of quests. And then you can see there's a lot of levels to it, essentially. So yeah, as you progress through, you can see you get an amount of silver and an amount of XP. Do not look at the silver amount and stuff just yet. That could change drastically. It's just to put something in here to give us an idea of how this would potentially look. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say. You can see at the top of my screen, I've just tracked my milestone. And if I went out and I chopped some wood, it would give me progress on the wood part of it. Might be hard to see because the text is a bit small. But yeah, you would then have to go through all of these. And then once you've completed that milestone, it automatically starts the next milestone of the sort. So if you just went for the main grand milestone, you might also be completing some of these smaller ones in the process. But yeah, if you like to target a specific type of gameplay, then you can do that, and you will get rewarded with the money and XP. There will also be tasks for dungeons and stuff. So if you defeat or clear X amount of dungeons, do it on heroic mode, torment, etc., etc. Yeah, there'll be also custom achievements where you need to do certain quests. Let's say, whenever we get up with our custom storyline and shit like that, a certain amount of daily quests, etc., etc., etc. You get the point. This is just that passive extra progression. It all needs to be scaled. It all needs to be revamped. But yeah, we're working on it. Okay, so that's the codex. Now, we mentioned a little bit about some abilities. I'm just gonna show you the way that we've basically got skills working as hot swappable things. So right now on the server, the skills are tied to a specific weapon. Moving forward, you'll be able to select a skill and then assign it to one of these fields down here. So if I assign it down here, the arcane orb, I can now use arcane orb. Boom. And some of these other skills. I'm gonna let Almu actually show off these skills because we've done some changes to them that makes them look significantly better. But yeah, you sort of get the idea here. You would be unlocking skills as you go through the tree as a mage, and then you can assign them to these different fields. Some of them are obviously locked to certain fields because they might be more of an ultimate. So let's say our meteor here. It's a bit more of an ultimate kind of ability. You have a movement ability as well that will be tied to... We're trying to make it work with double shift, but obviously having a couple of issues with it. But maybe I can get it to... maybe not. But basically, the idea is that we're trying to squeeze in another button that is your movement ability button. So right now I have blink on it, and that's also something that Almo can show when we when he goes into that. But yeah, you would basically then choose that or flame dash, like you guys know, and you can assign it to that particular button. Yeah, the talent tree, not going to go into it because it's in very early stages. In general, the whole class system is something we need to cook on a lot more. Same goes for crafting and everything else here. Again, I want to preface, this is like, you're seeing early versions of these things. So, yeah, please expect significant changes to many of these things by the time it goes live on the server, or maybe even on PTR for some of them. Okay. I guess another thing I just wanted to show you guys as well is our new server selector. So we really want to sell this idea that Runeteria is one coherent world. So sort of making the server selector reflect that a bit. There are a couple other features that I wanted to talk about with this as well. But yeah, this is like a little more immersive in our mind. And if we just click on one of these, you can see there's a world boss. And this is something where it's obviously a little bit of a placeholder, but basically you will be able to track where the different world bosses are spawning at what time. And they will show up as little icons with timers. Right now it's active, so you would be fighting that. Maybe that's something we can show off as well. We have a little something cooked up in terms of world bosses. But yeah, then you have what you see down here is kind of the future. It's super early again, but just to kind of explain a little bit about our vision for the different continents. So later on, each continent will have particular profession bonuses. So let's say for Everroot, it might be woodcutting and harvesting, but for Driftvale, it's harvesting and hunting. Brave Winds, it's mining and hunting. You might have also noticed the season mix here. And what that basically is we have a bit of a crazy idea of adding fully sort of immersive seasons to each of the servers. We really want each of these continents to feel unique. So whenever you settle down in one of these, you really identify with that place. Like it really, like you are from the north, or you are from the southern parts, or deep from the jungle. You know, like we really want to sell this idea that each continent has its own set of challenges or benefits. So this season mix here is spring, summer, autumn, and winter. What this will be affecting is stuff like the actual weather. So how much it rains, how much like the actual look of the weather itself will get a big revamp. The crop growth rates for certain crops will be different. So let's say in a spring type of in the spring, during the springtime, certain crops might grow much better than others. So basically, you being in Brave Wind, where it's winter for most of the time, there are certain crops that would be good at growing there, and will have unique crops added in. So let's say a snow lily or something like that might grow really well in Brave Wind because it's winter all the time. But if you want to go for something like corn, that might grow way better in a place like Everroot or something like that. So the growth rates will be different depending on the season. The seasons will take place over basically all 4 seasons is a one real life month. So the different percentages that you see here are percentages of a month. So yeah, basically 60% of the Everroot month would be, yeah, out of the 30 days or whatever we have in a month. Oh, now you can also see the timer of the world boss. But you get the idea. This will be a very comprehensive system. So it's a long ways away. Just thought I would share some thoughts about that. I think that's pretty much it for stuff on my list. Then there's some bonus stuff. I guess we should. Alec, would you like to show the boss fight directly, or should I show it as a video? If you're here. Okay, yeah. Let me just reshare here. Wait. Okay, so just to let you guys know what you're looking at. This is an early view of our first world boss. World bosses will be spawning in a particular continent, but a random location on that continent. So whenever it spawns in, it will be a rush to get there, and it will take a lot of people to take down the world bosses. So, yeah, if we have a little look at this world boss fight here. So obviously a lot of scaling, a lot of tuning, all that stuff. But you guys get the kind of vibe that we've got going on here. Alec, Amanda, really fucking cooked on this one. Like, it looks really, really sick. But yeah, basically, this will have a lot of health. It will take many, many players to get down. A lot of these abilities are designed for AoE type of stuff. So you will need to dodge. There will also have to be someone who tanks this world boss, and yeah, we'll just see how all of that goes. But yeah, that's an early little view of that one. I think the only other thing we have here is a little something new as well, just a little extra bonus. We've had the floaty model remade to look a little fluffier, a little cuter. So if you look in the chat, you can have a look at how that looks now. I think that's maybe what we have to show for now. So yeah, basically what you guys have seen today, minus a couple of things, everything is in a rough, very rough, but somewhat functional state on the PTR at the moment. We plan on releasing the PTR tomorrow. We want a very small group of people, so we will not be opening it up to everyone. Our idea is to basically tie it to the first rank that we will sell. This is not something that you need to buy whatsoever. This is a way for us to throttle the amount of players, and yeah, basically, it will also be our first test at trying to actually monetize something. So it will be a cheap rank, but just something that will give you access to the PTR. We want to really preface, we're not selling like a game here. Like, this is not finished whatsoever. Everything on this server is highly work in progress. So if you do decide to buy the rank, do not expect like a polished thing at all. Like, expect this to be bad, like really, really bad. Okay, I just want to really downplay this. It is not meant to be, something that you go in to enjoy. The server will be restarted all the time because this will be the sort of environment that we actually develop some of these things in. So expect frequent restarts, frequent resets, all that kind of stuff. But we just want to get it into some players' hands and see what kind of happens, get a bit of feedback on it, and yeah. But there will be more details on this stuff. We basically plan on just releasing this as is tomorrow. So we'll see exactly when, but yeah, the idea is to just get it out in a PTR state by tomorrow. So there's that. And yeah, it's beta testing, not early access. This is not like there's none of what you do on this server will carry over. It's entirely separated. The inventory, the wallet, everything is completely separated. So you cannot progress on the PTR server whatsoever. There's no gain for you to play on the PTR server. So do not buy the rank expecting that whatsoever. It's literally just if you want to go in and try some things out that we're working on and help us test it potentially. That's pretty much it. Like, okay.
Yeah. Was Almo here? Did he want to show off some of the other skills that he's been working on?
Oh yeah, Almo, you?
I'm here.
Okay.
I can show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Let's
ahead,
actually
go ahead.
let's have a look at the.
For those that stuck
abilities.
around, you get a sneak peek.
Hell yeah, I still
right.
around there.
I started up my stream. Tune in real quick, and then we'll go. Basically, when it comes to combat, right? We're working on the class system, and Jonna showed kind of how that works with the skill trees, stuff like that. Basically, our first level expansion is going to be similar combat to what we have right now, where there's just lots of different abilities. But finally, we're going to be able to hot swap those and have different kit setups and stuff like that. So we're looking for new ways to add synergies in between the abilities. Essentially, we are looking for ways to do passives and things like that that just make combat a little bit more interesting. But basically what I'm going to show you here, first of all, is some abilities from our mage classes. We have Arcanist and Elementalist, I believe. But we've got Guardian, Berserker, Rogue, Assassin. There's a ton of classes already that have rough designs for, and we're going to be working on the abilities over the next month or two just to get everything fully fleshed out for that. But what I'll show you here real quick is just some mage abilities. So
is
first
the stream
off,
not loading for a lot of you guys, or?
I'm gonna try restart your stream. It's fine on my end though, but
Yeah, same for me. To see multiple people saying it's not loading.
all right, I restreamed. Let's make
I
sure
see
it
it.
works. Good.
Okay, awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
So first ability here is just Arcane Orb. Launches, slowly travels. We've got Cone of Cold. So this one's just a quick cast ability, and then basically it freezes and slows your targets in a cone in front of you. And then another one we've got is the movement ability. So basically it's just good old blink. it's a lot of fun, and basically like one thing that I'm working on designing is ensuring that we get more strategy behind our combat. So for example, the one thing I'll show you here real quick with these 3 abilities is there's like really good burst combo that you potentially can do. So if I start off with Orb, then I blink in and Cone of Cold, they should hit at about the same time and do just like a burst of damage. Boom, right? So you can combine those things together and do some pretty awesome combos and stuff like that, right? And that's something that I'm trying to combine together and ensure that there's just like, I want combat to be extremely fun, to be fast, and there to be a high skill ceiling so that you guys can feel good about investing time into the stuff you're doing.
And I could see
Cool.
us doing some pretty exciting stuff with that in the future when the Hytale introduces the new system as well.
Exactly.
Right?
I'm excited to share this combat with Simon and the team as well, just kind of see where they're going with theirs, and hopefully the new systems they add will allow us to easily expand our systems and how we are going to approach combat, which probably will be different from what base Hytale is doing, but I'm sure the systems and tech they add will be a very useful thing for us. All right.
Yeah, and they can probably work together as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Some next abilities here. We've got Blizzard. Just a good old blizzard that you can summon. It's AoE damage over time, so you can basically put it at anywhere. It's based on raycast, and it's up to 15 blocks. So if you just aim in the air, it'll just put out to up to 15 blocks from you, and then it'll obviously just be a good old AoE slow damage blizzard. You've seen it before. It's just a fantastic staple of MMO ability design. So there's that. Beautiful little effects done by a Monday. Next ability here is Pillar of Fire, or Flame Strike, I believe we call it. Summon a pillar of flame on the ground, explodes beneath your targets, does a bunch of damage, starts them on fire, essentially. Just a good old ability. Next one here is going to be Meteor. John already showed this one. This one's kind of like an explosion nuke ability. You can point it at the ground, summon a meteor at the location, and blow them up. The damage obviously is not tweaked at all. We have an entirely different damage scaling system that is implemented and will be combined with these, so it'll scale with like intelligence and stats like that. All right, next we've got 3 more abilities. This one's more of a spam ability. This is called Arcane Explosion. Basically, it's just a quick cast ability that does some good AoE damage, but it's going to cost a lot of mana. It'll basically nuke your pool. So if you've got like good mana supplies, this might be a good way to hop in there and just do some nice AoE damage. It's not going to be this fast, obviously. I don't have any cooldowns at all right now, so, but that's basically what that ability looks like. Next thing here is an ultimate ability. Basically, it's just like a giant flamethrower that you can blast in front of you. It's called Frostfire, so it kind of freezes and burns your target at exactly the same time. Pushes you back a little bit. You're stuck in place during this ability, but you can cancel the ability early if you need to. But it's just a great way to do a ton of AoE damage, and you can just basically just beam it around a little bit. You have slower movement speed and look speed, but you can burn everything in your path. And then one last ability that we'll show for now is a mana charge. Basically, it's like meditate for, again, mana intensiveness. We're going to start incorporating stats and stuff like that a little bit more into our combat. So you can basically quickly meditate and regenerate your mana. This is a held ability, and you can drop out of it. But basically, it just stops your movement, and that's the risk of it. Cool. But yeah, that's the current direction of combat that we're heading on. There's a ton more that's already in progress. There's several other abilities that are done already, but that's what I'll show you for today, since this is mostly just made showcase, and I'm always interested for ideas and feedback. So if you ever have any suggestions, drop them in the suggestion channel, and I'd love to see the concepts and abilities and classes from other games that have really resonated with you. And yeah, hopefully it'll be very exciting.
Yeah, and I guess yeah, as you mentioned, right, on PTR, most of the mage abilities will almost be ready to actually be tried out on there if you guys level your mage, that is. And I guess over the next month, we're probably going to try to add in some more as well. I'm not sure what class is going to be next, but when we know and when Almo has some skills on, we might even post a little teaser, I guess, of that. and then full showcase on the next town hall, I suppose.
Yeah,
But yeah,
the visuals for a lot of the abilities have
Yeah.
been done, so it's a matter of hooking them up, but also that takes time. So yeah, we need to. You'll have to wait a little bit to see some of the new skills. We might do a few teasers on the Discord for some of them, but yeah, we're working on a lot of different abilities. Currently, there's like 70 planned, and I think we're already through quite a few of them on the visual first pass. So a lot of abilities for a lot of different classes and spec types and stuff like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, I guess it's time for a Q&A.
Yep.
Right, let me actually tap over to that channel. Even is it? There it is. All right. Oh, there's so many.
I mean,
Ah,
what did you expect?
then I could go to bed. Okay, I'm actually so goddamn tired, dude. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, first one. Special ranks on Runeteria. Will ranks be a one-time purchase and will you share the price with us before the release? So a little bit undecided on exactly what we're gonna do yet, but there will definitely be one-time purchase ranks, which are like just a permanent rank. But we also talked about just having a monthly subscription that people can do instead that would offer the same stuff as like the ranks, but just as a monthly payment kind of option instead, which might be better for some people. Yeah, the prices and all that is like undetermined, and honestly, like as Zerg said earlier, we're pretty much just doing the rank for PTR access for the time being, because we haven't really thought about like perks and all that kind of stuff that we could add to ranks, if that makes sense. So it's not exactly worth it to buy a rank for in-game perks right now, basically. So that's why he also like put huge emphasis on the fact that it's for the PTR access, basically.
Yeah, and I cannot stress enough, like the rank is useless. Like as in everything that you do on PTR, that you should really look at this as more of a supporter rank. It is literally just so we don't get the entire player base in on the PTR. Like we sort of have it in a somewhat controlled environment, and we get to test our whole payment system on a low scale because we don't anticipate that many people purchasing it. So it's yeah, it's a bit of both here. But yeah, there'll be different rank tiers, completely undetermined, like what the prices and stuff will be. We'll need to figure that out.
Yeah. Next questions. If there's going to be a bunny race, in terms of races, we're still kind of figuring out what races we want to introduce, but in theory, I think that is highly possible. Next one, race variants again. Please add dark/evil race variants in some way, like night elves, grow up the dwarves, etc., etc. Again, that is something we can consider.
One thing to mention with this as well, currently the races, like us being able to actually put them in like this, the reason we've been able to do it relatively fast as well is that we're using a lot of the Hytale native assets. It's essentially ears and tails from animals in the world. So if we need to make custom ones, that will take longer to do. We're absolutely planning on doing that, but yeah, these special requests, I feel like we should maybe make a little suggestion thing because we would love to hear like which races would people actually be interested in getting, and then maybe we can post a little list of the ones that we have planned over the coming days or something like that. There might be a lot to talk about, so maybe not. But yeah, give us your suggestions for sure, and we'll see what we can do. Maybe some of it is low hanging fruit, and yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think another thing to like mention in terms of races is the fact that we are most likely only doing like minor things as like giving you guys the ability to have a tail on different ears, because we do not want to go in and modify like skin colors, cosmetics, clothes, and all that kind of stuff on your character. We want to like leave that option up to you guys, so it's just extra ears, and that's kind of it. And like a tail as an example.
Yep. Okay. Necromantic staff coming soon. Probably not. We have some plans for the sort of as a conclusion to the Hollow Crypt.
Be back one moment.
Yeah, there will be some form of extension. You will be able to see that on our roadmap after this town hall. We'll post our roadmap as well, and you guys can all see what is sort of planned in the coming months. And one of those is a new raid, and that will be where this staff will likely belong. We'll have to see. Again, itemization and the current way that our drops work and all that stuff. Once we get all this crafting thing, like this whole crafting thing, onto the server, all those things will change drastically, and we'll need to figure out what we do with the legacy versions of items. Obviously, we've been trying to develop things on a moving train, bring you guys content and items and stuff like that. But yeah, that also means that sometimes we do run into these issues where, well, if you have a necrotic weapon and we're now throttling what you can craft as a baseline, dependent on skills and stuff, might feel a little out of place. We're probably not going to rip them out, but we need to find some way to gracefully integrate them, let's say. And same goes for with other normal weapons. Okay. Transmog question: does the item you're transmogging have the full durability, or can I just transmog any broken gear? Okay. Transmog is not tied to the item. Okay. So it's basically a skin for your character. Like the transmog has nothing to do with the items themselves. It's literally just like it doesn't have any durability difference. If you put on a cobalt armor or if you put on a thorium armor, it will show the exact same transmog. So transmogs are not related at all to durability or stats or anything like that. It's literally just a visual pass. If you've played any MMOs like World of Warcraft or I think in Final Fantasy as well, it's purely just cosmetic. Like it has no function at all. Like it's just to look cooler, basically.
I think he meant if you can throw it into the transmog orb.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah. Yes, I think you can. Even broken gear you can throw into it, but it will still have a silver cost to do it. So, yeah, might not be super beneficial, but yeah, I guess you can min-max that a little bit.
Next question: can you multi-class? Basically, the class system will work like Final Fantasy, where you can basically freely like swap between any class, basically, and it's separate level progression between each of them as well.
Yeah. So if you're playing as mage, if you kill a mob, you get mage XP. That's just to really make it clear.
Yep.
And same goes for quests and stuff. You'll likely also be getting class XP from doing things like daily quests and stuff like that. So it will basically be tied to the normal sort of actions in the game. Okay.
Next question: elemental races. I need an ice elemental race to pick. Again, we will consider races that make sense for us, and then take it from there. I think maybe at some point we will like potentially make a suggestion thread where people can like put in like ideas for races and all that kind of stuff, and then we will see what we can kind of make work and what actually makes sense, and then take it from there.
Yep. Okay. Sheathing. Depending on the type of weapon, one-handed weapon and dagger specifically, will it be possible to have one-handed weapons and quiver sheath on your hip/side? Possibly, maybe. We'll need to see. We might be able to add that option. Probably not in the immediate future, but that's something to note down. Actually, yeah, that could be a thing. For now, it would like all of them would sheath on your back, though.
Durability loss. Is the durability loss in the roguelike mode? From what I recall, and if it's not working like that yet, then it will work like that later. All durability loss will basically be turned off in dungeons in general.
Can you make the grimoire usable in the fragment / roguelike? It's always been funny that we could use the grimoires in your dungeons. Could be cool to see a modifier that corrupts summons to be our enemies under certain conditions. Not
Uh,
sure about that, but we
it
will
is.
have held in offhand or like books that you can make as weapons or get as weapons instead of staffs, for instance. Like, but yeah, I don't know about grimoires, like the ones that summon stuff.
Yeah. The only way
Specifically.
that would ever work is if we straight up made a necromancer class and it just becomes the weapon that they use, and then the class has better summons, and that would be it.
Yeah, and we have played around with the idea of a necromancer class, by the way. So it seems doable from our internal tests, but that would be very far away, if anything.
Oh, next question is for you, Jenna.
Oh yeah. Do boomshroom weapons glow now? Yes, they do. At least on the PTR. The problem with throwing it on the live server now is that a lot of backend stuff has been done to split asset packs and mods and things like this. So everything has been completely, yeah, I don't know, refactored. I don't know what other word to use. So we can't just throw it on the live server. They are glowing, but yeah, not. It won't be for a while on the live server until we're confident enough in some of these systems to actually throw them in the live environment. Is there dual wielding katanas? I just saw. Yeah, basically, I just thought it would be cool. Like we got this blood sword made that you guys saw, and I just thought it would be cool to also add as daggers. So I just made it daggers too. But yeah, it's just a flex thing. Like it won't actually count as anything special. It is just daggers with a skin on it.
I want a two-handed sword as a dagger, Jenna, please.
Yeah, me too. I want two two-handed swords on my back.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, race effects. Will race effects, will the races like Mermaid have corresponding special effects like more underwater breath, or Farah more stamina / speed, maybe? So, generally speaking, the effects that we'll be giving the different races are stuff that's not game breaking in any kind of sense. So, we don't want to give like a race like something that's considered like OP compared to another race, as an example. So, the examples that you gave there is most likely the kind of stuff that we would not do. What we will most likely keep it to is like minimal kind of stat increases and like XP benefits for certain professions and that kind of stuff.
It's mainly for RP purposes that we think races should exist, right? It's just a cooler way to express yourself or whatever you want to say. Yeah, it's not meant to be a buff to play any particular race because we don't want to see that meta of everyone going a particular race because it has the best stats for things. Like it should be so negligible that you're like, whatever. Like I'm just gonna pick what I think is cool, and yeah, that's what races should be. But there could be some quirky things about them. But again, yeah, nothing game breaking, like Rene said.
I have an idea. Okay, they get swim speed, but whenever they're on land, they are slowed by 60%.
Yeah, mermaids.
And they have to crawl.
Yeah.
Hell
they have to go in water every whatever.
Every
cool.
20 seconds, or they just die.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Item stats interaction with skill / magic. Will stats like lifesteal apply magic damage from staffs or only to physical damage from attacks? So there is different like stat schools or whatever you want to call that. Basically, meaning that lifesteal is for melee only, basically, but you will have something else that's like magic and like ranged only and all that kind of stuff as well. And that's just like balance purposes, basically. Next one, battle pass. Is there going to be a battle pass? I do not know. It's not something we've really looked on. I like so personally from my perspective, I like battle passes if they're done right, meaning that it's not like predatory kind of behavior. I like them as like a little collection kind of lock that you can do, as long as they never expire, if that makes sense.
It should
but
never feel like a battle pass, though. It would never be
exactly.
called a battle pass either. If it even gets close to the sort of, I don't know, Fortnite-esque stuff, that's not, yeah, no, that's no, thank you. So I don't know, leaning towards a no, but there could be something adjacent, maybe at some point. Who the fuck knows? Yeah, we'll see.
Next one, XP. How to get XP for leveling your character? You will basically be there's multiple types of XP, right? For professions, you just do whatever your profession would be doing, right? That's kind of like logical in that sense. So like if you wanna like level up your wood cutting, you go cut some wood. If you want to level up your blacksmithing, you go craft some armor. That's how that works. In terms of the classes, like the combat classes and all that kind of stuff, you basically just kill mobs, you do dungeons, you do quests, and that's how that will work.
Yeah, I guess
Uh,
one thing we actually didn't even talk about really. For some pieces of armor and stuff as well, of these custom crafted things, they might have requirements in terms of your class level and potentially things like your attack skill. Like some weapons might require a certain amount of attack skill or a certain amount of magic skill level to be able to wear them. So you couldn't just get someone who's super high level to craft you a giga OP weapon and then just equip that from the moment you join the server. You would have to level up these skills to be able to wear them, or classes.
yeah. Someone asked if there's going to be a post later on. There might be a post at some point if we have the time to write it, but there will definitely be a video from what I understand. So yeah, look out for a video, I would say. Item durability after item changes. Will you go with the same item durability mechanic from vanilla, where dying takes away percentage durability and repairing it reduces the item's max durability? Generally speaking, we will use the durability system that already exists, but we will basically make it so that you can get more durability on your items instead. I also think that we will remove the max durability laws in general because, yeah, a little bit silly. There's one thing to consider though, which is the fact that like to level up your professions, you are intended to craft a whole lot of armors and weapons and all that kind of stuff as well though. So we will probably be adding in some kind of salvage system where you guys can get rid of that. The reason why I'm mentioning that is because like obviously if you had like trash items that is like low durability, normally you would want to get rid of them anyway. So the system still has a purpose rather than you just sticking to one piece of like armor and just repairing that over and over again. Next one. I noticed in the harvesting bench preview, the alchemy seeds were in there with regular crops. Will growing the potion ingredient crops be part for farming or slash harvesting, or alchemy is currently part of alchemy in base game? So we are simplifying a lot of it, but it's still being worked out how exactly we want to do stuff. In sense of harvesting, we believe that that's just going to be the profession that you do anything that's related to planting literally anything. There is going to be I forgot what we called it. There is like a magic alchemy kind of rank where you will be able to
Yeah,
craft potions and
Arcana or something like
Arcana.
that.
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah,
it.
something along those lines.
Where you'll be able to like make potions and all that kind of like magic related stuff as well, where you would be using that stuff as ingredients. You can do the next one, Jenna. I will reply to this one.
Yeah.
Oh, next one. You can reply to it.
Gear set. A gear set page where you can hot swap gear set based on the activity, tanking, DPS, crafting, gathering sets similar to Hypixel Skyblock gear sets or WoW equipment type. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we could probably do that. It's just we would really prefer to design things to not be for you to not have to swap armor all the time, right? Like depending on what type of content you do, or at least it would be quite minimal. Like you might redo some of your talents a little bit, or I'm not even sure we want to sort of lean into that either. Like, we personally find it a bit annoying to, like in other games where you need to respec entirely or like get a whole new set of armor on if you're doing a specific task. But I guess we're going a bit against that with gathering armor. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe we could do a gear set manager of some kind. Might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, random location / roaming elite mobs. Love the world bosses. With that is the idea for roaming elites, mobs / mini bosses in certain biome areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Way
Maybe.
way down the line, we have big plans for populating the world, like each survival world, like significantly with points of interest, etc., etc. It's just a matter of prioritization at the moment. Like there, as you guys can see, there's a lot of systems already that still need a lot of refinement and stuff, and we would honestly rather really flesh out the core before we start getting into things like that. But it is absolutely something we want to do. There are a lot of things we wanna do. It just takes time.
Yeah. Next one, ETA for the updates. Sorry for said. Yeah, I'll try that again. Sorry if it was said I was listening because I'm not exactly okay. So TLDR, how long do you all expect for all these additions to drop? Basically, PTR will most likely open tomorrow for testing, but that's obviously for testing and all that kind of stuff. We will heavily rely on people putting out information for us there, so we can kind of like figure out what needs tweaking, like what is good and what is bad, and then we'll basically go hard on refining everything. There's no saying when a system will go from PTR to live servers, but we basically intend on that being our focus. And whenever we are done refining something and we feel like, okay, this is in a good enough state for live servers now, we will basically put it on the live servers at that point. There's something that we've been talking about internally as well, which is the fact that we want to put stuff on live servers quicker rather than try and refine it to like what we consider like a full-on approved rollout kind of thing, right? So we want to be able to release stuff out there to you guys so you get it in your hands quicker, and then we will just have to like modify and adjust things on the fly, kind of. So the goal is basically to get stuff in a good state where it's like bug-free at least, where you guys can play with it and use it
Somewhat
fully,
bug
and
free.
yeah, somewhat bug-free.
Yeah.
And you guys can play with it fully, but where it still leaves like a little room for disarmaments, if that makes sense. Oh, next one is for you, Jana.
Hold on, I need to get into the page again. Here. 15-part question. Fucking hell. Okay. Will homes be added to O menu? Yes. Will set homes be added to O menu? Same thing. Will spawn be added to O menu? Will RTP be added to O menu? Okay, there's a lot of O menu stuff. For the most part, we intend to have as little commands, if not almost none at all. So basically, we're going to revamp the O menu, and it will contain everything. Like that's the idea. You should be able to navigate to everything from the O menu, and with as few clicks as possible. So I guess that hopefully answers that question. There's some report player was removed. Not sure about that. I don't know.
It was. I don't know. A question for Jox later.
Okay. Homestead TP cooldown removed or reduced? If not, why?
Any questions regarding guilds or like homesteads will basically be addressed in the future. Like right now, we're not really doing any changes to any of them, and that's the reason for that, which will be shown in the future as well.
Yeah, tame or farm floaties? Maybe eventually. Will PvP quests be removed from the guild quests?
Not right now.
I
no.
guess. Yeah. One thing about the guild as well. I'm just gonna say this again. We've said it on other town halls, but it's worth mentioning. we are revamping the guild system entirely. It will become an entirely different thing down the line. So most of the issues that you have with the guilds, unless they're like game breaking, it will likely remain the way that it is because we're working on this new system instead, and we would prefer to do as little maintenance on the current system. But obviously, if something is like broken, then we'll fix it. Yeah, some more guild stuff. Can we get more portals, even if we have to pay for them, please? Probably not. Maybe. Yeah, I think we'll let it stay where it is at the moment. I don't know if you have something to add to that, Vinny, but
I mean, if we're adding more portals, it's to donator ranks, basically.
yeah, probably, yeah. It's like a utility-esque thing. We feel like you already have enough of them. So yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gen 2
whether
suggestion. Oh, we're
okay,
not
yeah,
done?
no, I think these are pretty much recipes for any of the custom furniture that you're seeing on the server will eventually end up in the carpentry bench, by the way. So everything that we're using in our spawns, like all the flags, all the pillars and whatever the fuck else we have for decoration, it will all be added to the carpentry bench eventually. So that you will have to level your carpentry to get access to some of those, or they will be available in vendors in game, let's say, as recipes that you buy for carpentry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it.
Gen 2 suggestion. Or this is more like a future wipe suggestion.
Yeah.
Players who have been active on the server from before, whenever the swap is, should get some form of exclusive legacy content. That way it doesn't sting as bad when the switch happens, because I know even though all my stuff is gonna be on a legacy server, I probably will stop playing on those servers anyhow. Which is entirely fair. Like, just to reiterate that, if we are like refreshing the servers in the future, it doesn't mean that anything is being wiped. It just means that we basically retire that server and put it on something called a legacy server instead. This means you can still go visit that server. You just can't take your old stuff from that server over to a new one, basically. So you can still visit your stuff. You can still choose to like play with people on a legacy server and all that kind of stuff. In the sense of exclusive kind of rewards for people who are here right now and all that kind of stuff, and we do like these new servers in the future, I am not personally against that. I think that's a good idea, kind of just to like give a little something to the community. I don't hate that idea myself, but we don't know what that will be yet, so that's something we will have to just give a thought in the future, basically.
Yeah, some definitely things that could be tied into achievements and stuff like that. If people actually manage to achieve things by the time that a quote unquote wipe happens. Obviously, our wipes are not going to be in the traditional sense because you will still have access. Yeah, no, it's not a not a great word. But yeah, also we're hoping to not like if you guys look at the roadmap, maybe sometime near like September or something like or December, we might see if we can get like not a Runeteria 1.0 out, because World Gen 2 is when, in our mind, this server is truly gonna be in its final form. We really want to lean into what World Gen 2 is gonna be able to bring. So that's when we sort of consider that this server will truly be in 1.0, but we might do a soft transfer, let's call it, before that, in a seasonal kind of way. But yeah, once we hit 1.0 with the actual World Gen, we don't plan on resetting like ever again or transferring ever again. Like that will be the sort of staple. So until now, it's like, as you guys already know, it's very much you guys are a part of the journey of the development of Runeteria. Like we're in early access, we'll continue to be in early access when crafting and classes and everything is out. it will still be very early access in terms of what we have for the ambitions of this server. Like, we're nowhere near where we want to be with it, and yeah, at some point it probably will warrant like a little more of a like this is the sort of final reset, and you know that everything from then on out won't be carried over to a legacy server at some point. But yeah, like Renee said, it will always end up on some legacy place where you can always go and keep playing there if you wish to. It just won't carry over to the newer servers. Okay. Mob affixes and mob rarity. Normal mobs, but with some random affixes. Number of affixes correspond to their rarity tier.
Yeah, basically perfect style mobs.
Yeah. Maybe in dungeons that could be like a testing environment for it. I don't think we'll implement things like these in the world, like the normal world. Eventually some of these continents might be levels, like the mobs will be level scaled and stuff depending on the continent as well. But we're very far off that kind of thing. It's mainly we don't want new players to join in and then get one shot, because right now it's fully sandbox, right? So you could basically end up in a very bad place and just get one shot, and it feels bad. But yeah. So yeah, maybe. Could be cool, I guess. Mob fixes. Okay. Is there any plans for a blood mage class that sacrifices their health to deal more damage? No, but it sounds cool. So if you want to make a suggestion for it, we're all ears when it comes to stuff like that. Like, any cool ideas, we're very open to.
When World V2 happens, would it be possible to have all server world downloads or copy builds?
Potentially. Like, I don't think we're close to the idea of even supplying the world files if people. But yeah, I don't know.
It's
could
a big
also
file,
be
so it could be
schematics.
problematic.
Yeah, it could be more like prefabs of your town or something like that instead. Yeah, I don't know. We'll need to figure out how that would work. Because yeah.
Yeah. Next question. Working guillotines. Can we please get working guillotines that we can use on other players? And the answer to that is no.
That sounds sick, honestly.
Okay, never mind. Guillotines tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do it. Honestly. Okay. Runteria sword. Will we be able to craft the Runteria sword?
No.
Well, we might have some plans for what that sword means in the future, lore-wise, but the crafting it, that's yeah. I'm not gonna say anything. That sword is special. Okay. Rented stalls. What is the planned future for rented stalls? I feel like they take away from going to other towns because of ease of use.
Tax.
Yeah, I straight up. Like, I think we want them to be just expensive enough, or just taxed high enough that people would think twice to use them, or if they do, they would have to inflate their prices to sort of sustain them renting that spot, right? So you going to the actual towns will always give you the best price. I know the branch stuff might go against that a little bit. That is something we are sort of thinking about. Like, maybe the branch stuff is something that wouldn't really make sense. But right now it's just such a convenience that we thought would be cool to add. Yeah, I don't know. It does mess a bit with the RP aspect of having to go to a particular town to do your shopping. But we also love the idea of, like, you have a market that you go to in the hub, and people can even make their own markets as well. That's kind of the idea too, is having a way for people to do that stuff. Okay.
This one
There's
is
a
bit of a meme.
Minecraft mod made by a little-known studio. Are there any plans to include anything like this to make buildings more detailed? No, there's not. Definitely not. Unless Hytale themselves add something like that. That's not something we're gonna go into, at least. We'll have a lot of custom furniture though. Like that's for sure. Renly is cooking on custom furniture and will continue to do so. So we'll have a large selection of custom furniture. Okay, last one, I think.
There's a couple more.
Oh, okay. Necromancy ability / spells. Have you put any thought into necromancer ability / spells? It would be fun to be able to see something like tank / debuff necromancer, focusing mostly on raising the dead and debuffing your party's enemies. All right. Yeah, we've talked about the warlock / necromancer, that sort of direction. Like I said, we have been playing around with tech for more consistent summons. So yeah, because the native sort of grimoire ones, we're not super happy with the functionality of those. So we would probably make our own stuff for it. But I don't know. It's not in our initial round of classes. Like right now, we're just trying to make everything exist, and then we'll keep refining on it. Refine. Again, for the people that will be joining the PTR, like what you will see is an extremely rough version. So it will be refined over time. That's the intention. Even when we release it to live eventually, stuff will continue to be improved or maybe even revamped if we don't feel like it's working. Okay.
What
the
was the
new
next one?
ones?
I just refreshed to see. I was replying to some of them.
Here.
Yeah, a few town halls ago, you mentioned making a raid that would take over 20 people to beat and be the big flagship of Runeteria called the Cathedral of Bones. Is there any updates on it? It's been paused a little bit for now as we're focusing on like other systems, but I think once those other systems are out, it's basically going to be one of the things that we go back to working on again.
Yeah, it's certainly still in the cards. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And we have done more work since then. We're focusing on the core systems at the moment, as we felt like that was a little more important.
Read the next one.
Okay. World generation and borders. The new POIs and structures have been added to Hytale since the launch of the servers. Is there any way to include these additions on the older servers at the time of regeneration? Will world borders ever be expanded? We cannot regen it because that's an old seed. Like the world is an old seed, and it basically reverts it back to what the original state of that seed was per chunk. So no, we cannot generate them in, unfortunately. But expanding the border, I don't know, Rene. What you?
We can expand the border, but that also doesn't exactly make sense unless the servers are so overpopulated that we need it, and especially not now when we have regeneration as well.
Yeah. Again, though, like Hytale is developing very rapidly, as we've seen with the blog post as well. So we definitely want to make sure that we see all these cool things on Runteria as well. Another reason that we sort of need to do some sort of seasonal-esque stuff, because eventually we would want to get all these new cool things into the worlds and stuff like that. And if we keep everything completely persistent, then that will not happen.
Yeah. Next one, claims. Is anything in the future going to affect my claims, like taking away some of my claims, etc., etc.? Intentionally, no. Yeah, and that's basically all I can say about that, I guess. Now, like we don't intend to like take away claims and all that kind of stuff from people in general. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah. Newer systems kind of. Yeah, I don't know how to even navigate that. Like, I think with the new stuff that we're working on, that likely would have to be applied to new worlds because it doesn't really transfer. So yeah, no, you will not lose your claim ever in the world that you're in. I think that, well, not intentionally, anyways. Like if something goes wrong, then maybe, but it's not. We'll never do that intentionally, at least. Okay. SA servers. Do you guys plan on ever launch South American server? Not for the foreseeable. We would have to see like a big enough demand in that region, and right now as well with the current state of Hytale, like there aren't like the player counts aren't really there to justify us getting another server. So probably not, at least not for the foreseeable. We can always look into it further down the line, but for now it will be NA and EU.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Cool. All right. A little bit of a marathon, but yeah, we will. I posted the roadmap in the chat, but it will also be posted as an announcement, so everyone else gets a chance to see it. Yeah, that should explain decently enough, at least, what the sort of plans are for the coming months. So yeah, would refer to that. And as for PTR access, we'll give more information about that probably tomorrow, because we are cooked. So
Cooked
I
in the
don't
brain,
think. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, cool. Thank you all for joining in and sticking all the way through. Those of you that did. Yeah, cool. Exciting times for Runteria. A lot of shit